morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, 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 welcome to the official listing of the iTrust bond on this beautiful day, 8th of July, 2026. Karibuni sana. We are about to begin. Our guest of honor this morning, CPA Mkama, is about to come into the room. As he comes in, I'm going to ask that we just give him a round of applause as well as the other guests joining him. And then we will start as soon as that happens. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Before we begin and before they come in, I'd like to remind us of a few things. These will be our chords of success for today morning. Firstly, I'm going to remind you to put your phones on silent. Let's put our phones on silent mode before we begin. Secondly, I'd like to remind us that should you be looking for somewhere to wash your hands, it is very simple how to get there. What you will do is you will head outside the door and the protocol team will be able to guide you. But otherwise, if you're looking for Wi-Fi, it's available on your tables. It is available on your tables. There's Wi-Fi code right there. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, karibuni sana to the official listing of the iTrust bond. This beautiful day, mabibi na mabwana, our guest of honor is coming into the room. Tafadhali kama tulivyozungumza, tumpigie makofi ya kumkaribisha mabibi na mabwana CPA Nicodemus Mkama. Let's stand up on our feet tafadhali, tumkaribishe na makofi yaliyoshiba kabisa. Ladies and gentlemen, with our guest of honor is a managing director of CSDR, Mr. Benito Kiando, as well as Mr. Bruce Mueller, CEO, COO, CRDB, alongside Mr. Ali Othman, CTO, DSE, ladies and gentlemen, as well as Mr. Anwali Rajabali, Chairman, iTrust Finance. Mabibi na mabwana, you may take your seats. Karibuni sana kwa mara nyingine tena. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On this beautiful day, this auspicious occasion, the official listing of the iTrust bond on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Mabibi na mabwana, a few weeks ago, it feels like just a few weeks ago, there was a launch of the iTrust bond, and it was received with great vigor, great excitement within the markets. And today, ladies and gentlemen, after the market was invited to participate in something as significant as the first corporate bond issued by a broker and fund manager in East Africa. Tafadhali, a round of applause to iTrust Finance. Mambo mazito, mambo mazuri sana. Today, the instrument enters the market officially. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in a massive way celebrating the growth of the financial sector in Tanzania, celebrating innovation, celebrating not just people who say and speak about things that need to push us forward, but celebrating the innovations that truly push us forward across the board. This is not just a celebration within this room, it's a celebration for Tanzania as a whole, the capital markets, and truly signifying what it means to raise capital within Tanzania. Kwa pamoja na tafadhali, naomba tujipigie makofi kwa kama wa Tanzania kwa kusema tunapiga hatua kubwa sana. And today iTrust Finance, iTrust inatuonyesha leading the way what it looks like when you do not just have a vision, but you do what it takes to push not just a company, an ecosystem, but a country forward. iTrust Finance, hongereni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, to start us off this morning, I'd like us to give a hand of applause, a roaring hand of applause to the CEO of iTrust Finance to open us up with opening remarks, with welcome remarks, and really to share what brings us here today. Mabibi na mabwana, makofi kwake, Mr. Faiz Rajab.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, can you guys hear me? Guest of honor, CPA Nicodemus Mkama of CMSA, CTO of Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, Mr. Ali Othman, COO CRDB, Mr. Bruce, our chairman, Mr. Onali Rajabali, our shareholders, Mr. Sajjad is here, and Professor Warsame, fellow investors, invited guests, members of the press, good morning to you all. I stand here before you today celebrating a very important milestone, not only for iTRUST, but also for Tanzania's capital markets. Today we are celebrating two significant achievements. Firstly, the official listing of the iTRUST bond, which is the first corporate bond in East Africa issued by a broker fund manager on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Secondly, the successful completion of iTRUST Bonds MTN program, which in its eternity was worth 100 billion. We came to the market on the 18th May of 2026 with an offer of 15 billion with a green shoe option of 5 billion. By the closing of the offer on the 12th of June 2026, we had received applications amounting to 114 billion. This represents an impressive 761% subscription rate. This remarkable demonstration has, my apologies, this remarkable response demonstrates the growing confidence that investors have in iTRUST and Tanzania's investment landscape. We are equally pleased that 67% of the total amount raised came from retail investors, whilst 33% came from corporate and institutional investors. Yet another breakthrough worth celebrating is that the continued shift towards the digital investment. Now, nearly 89% of the total applications came through the digital channels. With the iTRUST app alone receiving 71% of all applications. This is a clear indication that Tanzanians are embracing technology as a convenient and trusted way to invest. This digital transformation is further strengthened by iTRUST app, which brings together funds, bonds, ETF, and listed equities into one seamless platform. It represents our vision to make investing simple, accessible, available to every Tanzanian, no matter where they are. As stated in our iTRUST Bond MTN Program Information Memorandum, the proceeds will be used to invest in developing and enhancing the iTRUST digital platforms, that is the app and the web portal, to finance the growth of iTRUST business lines, and to fund the growth of iTRUST conventional loan book that's securities-based lending. Now, in doing this, we will continue to remove and lower cost on participation in these instruments and making quality investments opportunities accessible to people across Tanzania. Now, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Capital Markets and Security Authority, the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, our lead transaction advisors and sponsoring brokers, that's CRDB Bank, our legal advisors, J&J Attorneys, RSM as our reporting accountant. Most importantly, I would extend my heartfelt gratitude to our investors. Your belief in iTRUST is the foundation of everything we do. It inspires us to continue raising the bar, delivering innovative investment solutions, and creating long-term value for investors we serve. As this bond begins to trade in the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, we look ahead with a great optimism. For those who are unable to participate during the public offering, this is the opportunity now to buy the iTRUST bond in the secondary market through iTRUST as your trusted broker. Likewise, existing investors now have the flexibility to increase their holdings and manage their portfolio on real time. Finally, I would like to emphasize that this listing is more than a conclusion of a successful public offer. It is the beginning of a new chapter in our continued commitment to democratize investment and expand access of capital through technology and innovation. Today's listing, therefore, not only a simple bond, but it is to strengthen our future in investing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arab. Absolutely, the beginning of a new chapter, ladies and gentlemen. 761 subscription rate. Makofi kwao iTrust Finance. Kwa mara nyingine tena, makofi hajashiba ya kutosha. It is incredible news when we see the space move like that. Mr. Arab, thank you very much for setting the tone and also marking the significance of this milestone for iTrust Finance, the market, and Tanzania at large. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to invite to the stage the lead transaction advisor, representative from the lead transaction advisor. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than CRDB Bank COO Makofi Kwake, Mr. Bruce Mwile.
Good morning. What a good day. Let me start first by recognizing the guest of honor, Chief Executive Officer, Capital Markets Securities Authority, CPA Nicodemus Mkama, CTO DSC, Ali Othman, Chairman of the Board, iTrust Finance Limited, Mr. Honora Jabali, Professor Mohamed Osame, Director, iTrust Finance Limited, Chief Executive Officer for iTrust Finance Limited, Mr. Faiz Arab. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. On behalf of CRDB Bank, I'm standing here very honored to join you this morning as we celebrate this official listing of the iTrust corporate bond on the DSC. This occasion marks an important milestone, not only for iTrust Finance, but also for the continued growth and development of Tanzania capital markets. CRDB Bank's involvement in this transaction from the very beginning reflects our unwavering commitment to deepening and expanding Tanzania's capital markets. Over the years, our role as CRDB Bank has evolved beyond being an issuer of capital market instruments. Today, we are increasing serving as a trusted advisor and transaction partner, supporting institutions in raising long-term capital through the market. In this transaction, CRDB Bank served as the lead transaction advisor, sponsoring broker, receiving bank, registrar, and importantly, as one of the key investors in the bond. So we also invested. These multiple responsibilities demonstrate the confidence that iTrust placed in us for both an advisor and investment perspective. It is responsibility we take seriously, and I believe the successful execution of this transaction is a testament to our capabilities as a bank. These integrated capabilities enable us to deliver end-to-end capital market solutions that create value for issuers, investors, and the broader economy. What makes this bond particularly significant is that iTrust has successfully accessed the capital markets to diversify its sources of funding. Those of us who work in this industry understand the dedication required to reach this stage, from structuring the transaction, engaging with regulators, to preparing the necessary documentation and securing an unwavering commitment of the board and management throughout the process. Today's listing is therefore much more than admission of another corporate bond. It is a reflection of the growing depth, sophistication, and diversification of Tanzania's capital markets, and it reinforces the increasing confidence that issuers and investors alike have in our financial system. Guest of honor, the market's response to this offer has been truly exceptional. As said by the CEO, against an initial offer of 15 billion, iTrust received exceeding 114 billion, representing an oversubscription of more than 760%. This is a historic achievement because this is one of the highest levels we've ever recorded in Tanzania capital markets. Congratulations to iTrust Finance. The significant number of individual Tanzanians who invested in this bond demonstrates growing public confidence in our capital markets, but it also reflects the steady progress we are making promoting financial literacy, expanding investment opportunities, and fostering a stronger culture of saving and investment across the country. CRDB Bank also supported in this transaction every step of the way, from transaction structuring, as I said earlier, advisory service, to digital subscription. fund collection, and bondholder registration. Our SIM banking platform played a pivotal role by enabling investors to subscribe to the bond seamlessly, demonstrating how digital innovation can broaden access to investment opportunities and enhance participation in Tanzania capital markets. The CEO clearly explained here how many transactions went through digitally. I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the Capital Markets Securities Authority, the Bank of Tanzania, and the Central Securities Depository Registry, and the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange for their invaluable guidance and support throughout this process. A strong and well-regulated market is fundamental to building investor confidence and ensuring the sustainable growth of our capital markets. To the board, management, and the entire team of iTRUST, congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Today's listing marks an important milestone in your growth journey and sends a strong message to other institutions that capital markets offer a viable and efficient avenue for raising long-term financing. We are proud to have partnered with you in delivering this landmark. Finally, to all investors who placed the confidence in this bond, thank you for your trust and participation. Your investment not only supports the growth of iTRUST, but also strengthens Tanzania's capital markets and contributes to our country's broader economic development. On behalf of CRDB Bank, I would like also to congratulate everyone who made this transaction successful. They were mentioned by the CEO here, and we really appreciate you. We remain committed to working with the regulators, issuers, and investors, and market participants to continue building a vibrant, innovative, and inclusive capital market that supports Tanzania's long-term economic transformation. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwile. Asante sana, CRDB Bank, lead transaction advisors. Mabibi na mabwana, what a day, what a signal when we talk about local capital mobilization within Tanzania. Thank you so much for taking us through the transaction and also the work behind bringing the issuance to markets. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment before I call up the next speaker. The numbers that have been mentioned on the stage can be numbers that pass, and they could just be numbers that are mentioned kwa sababu namba zinapita tu. But I think that those numbers are worth taking a moment to pause and literally reflect on what they mean. Kwa Kiswahili, I cannot say it anyway in English for it to bring the same sense. Kwa Kiswahili tunasema nyundo imegonga. It is definitely a hammer that hit within the market. Tafadhali tuwapigie makofi. 15 billion first tranche attracting applications of 114 billion from May, and this is July. Watanzania hongereni sana. The level of response speaks to investor confidence, but also it speaks to the fact, everything that has been said here, the partnerships, it speaks to a regulated market. It speaks to the work that is happening across the different partners that have worked hard to bring whatever we are seeing, the great results to the forefront. Tukiona kwa Kiswahili tunasema ukiona yameundwa, ukiona yame, ujue yame, ukiona yameelea ujue, ukiona vyaelea ujue vime. Absolutely. When something is simple, when the process is seamless, you should know that there are people in the background pushing hard to make sure that it is that way. And so this speaks to the great partnerships across the board. Ladies and gentlemen, to share remarks on the significance of this listing for the exchange and for Tanzania's capital markets, please join me in welcoming to the stage the Chief Operations Officer, COO of the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, Mr. Ali Othman. Makofi kwake mabibi na mabwana.
Guest of honor, Mr. Nicodemus Mkama, our regulator, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is great pleasure to welcome you to this event for listing of iTRUST bond. On behalf of the DSE, I welcome you all, and really, we really want to congratulate iTRUST Finance Limited, board, management, shareholders, transaction advisor, legal advisor, and all stakeholders who have contributed to this successful issuance. So, Prof, you are really doing a very good job there. Today's ceremony is more than listing of a bond. It is a strong demonstration of growing confidence of Tanzanian capital market as a reliable platform for raising the capital. So our regulator, you have really put an environment that are helping many institutions to raise capital, and the number, they speak themselves. The results are remarkable. The iTrust bond has targeted 15 billion, and we see is almost 114 billion, which has been raised, and this represents a subscription of over 700%. This is clear vote of confidence in iTrust Limited and in Tanzanian capital market space. Another thing which I wish to say, this listing is also significant in the context of capital market performance. If I take the number in the year 2026 and in the corporate bond space, up to now we have already raised 236 billion, and almost we have 6,500 CDS investors who have participated, which is really telling that our market space, our environment, our regulation, they are all working as per regulatory guidance. The iTrust bond in this number has contributed 114.12, making it one of the largest contributors to bond IPO activity in 2026 up to now. And this is really reflecting strong investor appetite for well-structured fixed income products. At the exchange, we see that the listing itself, it further strengthened product diversification. Corporate bond continue to provide business with long-term capital while offering investors attractive and predictable returns. So as was mentioned by the CEO of the iTrust, the proceedings will go to make a lot of change, including technology. And because I'm coming from the technology, I really make a hand for that. I also wish to recognize the Capital Market and Security Authority for its continuing leadership. Mr. Mkama, we really thank you for that. CRDB Bank as a lead transaction advisor, and all professional advisor whose expertise ensured the success of this transaction. As we all know, last week we were in the same hotel celebrating 30 years of capital market of DSE. So of these 3 decades, we have remained committed at the exchange to mobilize long-term capital, promoting financial inclusion, investing in technology, and expanding investment opportunity in Tanzania. So to business considering raising capital, today's success send a clear message that the Tanzania capital market is open, trusted, and ready to finance business growth. And we have seen, based on the number, based on market performance, based on the liquidity, they all speak itself when we take what in the past 3 years and performance year to date. Finally, I once again congratulate iTrust Finance and thank all investors for their confidence. The DSE committed to working with issuer, regulator, intermediaries, and investor to build deeper, more liquidity and more inclusive capital market for Tanzania. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ali Othman, CTO DSE. Mabibi na mabwana, tunaenda moja kwa moja kwenye ringing the bell. We're going directly into ringing the bell to signal the opening of the markets, but also the official listing of the iTrust bond. Guest of honor, CPA Nicodemus Nkama, naomba nikukaribishe jukwani. May I please invite you to the stage, as well as the entire high table to the stage, tafadhali, alongside Mr. Faiz. Tafadhali karibuni, tutapanda. We can come up the steps, or we can take that one step over there. Karibuni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important moment. We are ringing the bell to signal the opening of the capital markets, but also the listing of the iTRUST. Naomba nimkaribishe pia jukwani Professor Wasame. Professor Wasame, karibu sana. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, tuta hesabu will do account from 5 to 1 kwa pamoja, and our guest of honor shall ring the bell. Kwa pamoja mabibi na mabwana, from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The iTRUST bond officially listed on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Tarehe 8 mwezi wa 7 2026. Officially officiated by CPA Nicodemus Mkama. Congratulations, congratulations. Makofi kwa mara nyingine tena mabibi na mabwana. Mtasimama kwa picha kwa pamoja. Please stand for a group photo. May I please ask you to turn to look at the screen tafadhali. Mtageuka na kuangalia screen tafadhali. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, another hand of applause. We see the bond officially showing there. Asante sana. Thank you very much to the high table. You may take your seats. Asanteni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, right at this point, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, we are ready to hear from you. Tuko tayari kusikia kutoka kwako. Mabibi na mabwana, together I invite, let's together give a hand of applause to our guest of honor, CPA Nicodemus Mkama, CEO, CMSA. Makofi yaliyoshiba tafadhali.
Ndugu Al Othman, CTO toka soko la hisa la Dar es Salaam. Ndugu Aunal Fidausen la Jabal, mwenyekiti wa bodi ya iTrust Finance. Profesa Mohamed Wasame, mjumbe wa bodi ya iTrust Finance. Ndugu Faiz Alab, afisa mtendaji mkuu wa iTrust Finance. CEO Blues Mwile, ambao ni mshauri mkuu kutoka benki ya CRDB, ambao wamehusika katika muhamala huu wa iTrust Finance. Mwakilishi kutoka Joachim and Jacobs Attons, wawakilishi kutoka RSM Tanzania ambao ni wakaguzi na washauri wa masuala ya fedha wa iTrust Finance, maafisa watendaji na wakurugenzi wakuu wa taasisi ambao mmehudhuria hapa, wawakilishi wa vyombo vya habari, wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana, habarini za asubuhi. Awali ya yote, namshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kutujalia afya njema na kutuwezesha kujumuika katika hafla ya kuorodheshwa kwa hati fungani ya iTrust Finance Limited, yani iTrust Bond, katika soko la hisa la Dar es Salaam. Hafla ya leo ni ya kipekee na muhimu katika maendeleo na ustawi wa masoko ya mitaji sio tu Tanzania bali katika ukanda wa Afrika Mashariki, kwani hatifungani hii inaweka historia na rekodi kuu 3 katika maendeleo na ustawi wa masoko ya mitaji hapa nchini. Kwanza ni hati fungani ya kwanza kuorodheshwa kwenye soko la hisa la Dar es Salaam, ikiwa imetolewa na kampuni yenye leseni ya uwakala wa soko la hisa na vile vile ikiwa na leseni ya usimamizi wa mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja, yani fund management, iliyotolewa na CMSA. Kwa hiyo hiyo ni historia ya kwanza ambayo iTRUST Finance wanaiweka katika masoko ya mitaji. Historia ya pili ambayo hatifungani hii inaweka ni kwamba ni hatifungani ambayo mauzo ya toleo la kwanza yameweza kuzidi kiasi cha programu nzima ya hatifungani yenye thamani ya shilingi bilioni 100 zilizokuwa zitolewe katika awamu 4 ndani ya miaka 4. Kwa hiyo ilikuwa ni programu ambayo imeidhinishwa na mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana kutolewa katika programu 4 za awamu bilioni 15, bilioni 30, bilioni 20 na bilioni 35 katika mwaka 2026, mwaka 2027, mwaka 2028 na mwaka 2029. Lakini katika toleo la kwanza tu wameweza kuvunja historia na kumaliza kiasi chote. Kwa hiyo hiyo ni historia ya pili. Lakini historia ya tatu, hii ndio ile historia aliyoongelea kwamba imegonga nyundo. Hapa tumegonga kengele, lakini hii imegonga nyundo, kwa maana kwamba kama tulivyoshuhudia, mauzo ya hatifungani yamepata mafanikio asilimia 760.78, ambapo kiasi cha shilingi bilioni 114.12 kimepatikana ikilinganishwa na shilingi bilioni 15 zilizotarajiwa kupatikana. Mafanikio ya asilimia 760.78 yanaifanya hatifungani ya iTRUST kuweka historia kuwa hatifungani iliyopata mafanikio makubwa zaidi kupita hatifungani zote zilizowahi kutolewa hapa nchini. Hatifungani iliyokuwa inashikilia rekodi kubwa ilikuwa ni hatifungani ya kampuni ya First Housing, yaani makazi bonds, ambayo ilipata mafanikio ya asilimia 661.1 na iliorodheshwa kwenye soko la hisa tarehe 9 Juni 2026. Kwa hiyo hongereni sana iTRUST kwa kuvunja rekodi na kuendelea kuweka rekodi za mafanikio katika masoko ya mitaji hapa nchini. Kwa hiyo tunawapongeza sana mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana pamoja na wadau wote wa sekta ya masoko ya mitaji. Tumefurahishwa sana na hatua hii na tunatoa pongezi za kipekee za dhati kwa bodi, management ya iTRUST Limited na wataalamu wote waliohusika katika kuweka rekodi hizi 3 katika historia ya masoko ya mitaji, lakini vile vile sekta ya fedha hapa nchini. Ndugu wageni waalikwa, iTRUST imeendelea kuwa mfano bora na wa kuigwa kwa kampuni na taasisi katika sekta binafsi na sekta ya umma kwani kampuni hii imekuwa ikitumia vizuri fursa zinazopatikana katika masoko ya mitaji katika kupata rasilimali fedha za kukuza na kuendeleza biashara, kuimarisha utendaji wa kampuni na kugharamia shughuli za maendeleo. Tangu mwaka 2021 kampuni hii imekuwa ikitumia masoko ya mitaji, ambapo tumeona wameweza kutoa hati fungani, lakini vile vile wameweza kutoa hati aina ya sukuk, lakini wamesimamia mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja. Kwa hiyo katika zile aina tatu za bidhaa zinazotolewa katika masoko ya mitaji, iTRUST wamekuwa wakitoa bidhaa nyingi na ambao kwa kweli ni mfano mzuri wa kuigwa. Rai ambayo ninatoa kwa management ya iTRUST pamoja na board, sasa nafikiri ungefurahi sana kwamba tutakapokuwa tunakuja kuorodhesha kwenye soko la hisa, tuje sasa tuorodheshe bidhaa ambayo ni equity. Tungependa kuona equity instrument, yani hisa tukiorodhesha katika soko la hisa. Kwa hiyo tumekwisha orodhesha hati fungani, tumekwisha orodhesha mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja, na yote ikiwa inafanya vizuri. Kwa hiyo tungependa sasa kuona tukiorodhesha hisa kwenye soko la hisa la Dar es Salaam, ili tuweze kutoa fursa kwa Watanzania wengi zaidi kuweza kununua hisa ambazo zitatoa fursa ya wao kuweza kupata magawio, lakini vile vile ongezeko la mtaji. Ndugu wageni waalikwa, kama tunavyofahamu, mojawapo ya malengo ya Dira ya Taifa ya Maendeleo, yani Dira 2050, ni kuona kuwa sekta ya fedha inawezesha upatikanaji wa rasilimali fedha kwa ajili ya kukuza na kuendeleza biashara ambazo zinachangia ukuaji na ustawi wa sekta binafsi, lakini vile vile sekta ya umma. Kwa hiyo juhudi za iTrust Finance zinatoa mchango katika utekelezaji wa malengo haya, kwa kuwa kiasi hiki cha fedha kilichopatikana kinakwenda kutumika katika sekta ya umma, lakini vile vile katika sekta binafsi, na hivyo kuweza kuchangia katika utekelezaji wa malengo ya Dira ya Maendeleo ya Taifa. Ndugu wageni waalikwa, nimefurahi sana katika taarifa iliyotolewa na afisa mtendaji mkuu wa iTrust wa kuona kwamba 66% ya wawekezaji walioshiriki katika hatifungani hii ni wawekezaji mmoja mmoja, na 33% ni kampuni na taasisi, lakini vile vile 98.82% ni wawekezaji wa ndani na 1.18% ni wawekezaji wa kigeni. Kuorodheshwa kwa hatifungani hii hivi leo kunaongeza thamani ya uwekezaji katika hatifungani za kampuni na taasisi kwa 5.46 na kufikia shilingi trilioni 2.2 kutoka shilingi trilioni 2.09 zilizokuwepo kabla hatujagonga kengele. Kwa hiyo kitendo cha kugonga kengele hapa na kuweza kuorodhesha hatifungani hii katika soko la hisa ambacho tumekifanya sasa hivi kimeongeza thamani ya uwekezaji katika soko la hisa kwa 5.06 na kuweza kufikia sasa shilingi trilioni 2.22, na hii inasaidia katika utekelezaji wa mpango jumuishi wa huduma za kifedha yani National Financial Inclusion Framework, wenye lengo la kuongeza ushiriki wa wananchi kwenye sekta rasmi ya fedha. Napenda kuhitimisha kwa kutoa rai kwa kampuni na taasisi katika sekta binafsi na umma kuweza kutumia fursa katika masoko ya mitaji kupata fedha za kutekeleza shughuli za kukuza na kuendeleza biashara, lakini vile vile kuweza kugharamia miradi ya maendeleo. Aidha, natoa wito kwa kampuni zingine zenye leseni za kutoa huduma katika masoko ya mitaji kuendeleza mikakati ya kuanzisha bidhaa mpya na bunifu zinazopanua na kuongeza fursa kwa wawekezaji wa ndani, lakini vile vile kwa wawekezaji wa kimataifa. Mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana tutaendelea kutekeleza na kusimamia utekelezaji wa mikakati yenye lengo la kuchagiza maendeleo ya masoko ya mitaji na hivyo kujenga uchumi shindani kwa maendeleo ya watu. Asanteni kwa kunisikiliza na ninawatakia mafanikio mema katika utekelezaji wa majukumu yenu. Mungu ibariki Afrika, Mungu ibariki Tanzania. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Asante pia kwa uongozi wako maridadi na mashuhuri kabisa. Ladies and gentlemen, kwa mara nyingine tena CPA Nicodemus Mkama, makofi kwake tafadhali. Tunamsindikiza na makofi mpaka pale atakapofika kwenye kiti chake. Tuendelee kupiga makofi. Kazi inayofanywa na CMSA sio kazi ndogo kabisa. Thank you for your leadership in strengthening Tanzania's capital markets. Ladies and gentlemen, strengthen your tomorrow. Just to let you know that we are actually live this morning. We are live on iTRUST Finance's YouTube as well as Instagram pages. So if you do have, and I believe every one of us has a circle of influence, please let them know to go on those links and follow through. Kuna fursa kubwa sana ambayo imezinduliwa leo. There's a massive opportunity, as much as the first, as the CEO said, as much as the first opportunity came to a close, everybody now has an opportunity to invest via the capital markets, via the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. So let's let them know to make sure that they follow through. Even though we are coming to kidogo to a close of today, they still have an opportunity to follow the conversation and understand leo Tanzania ni nyundo ipi hiyo ambayo imeland. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to invite the chairman of the board of iTRUST Finance to deliver final or official vote of thanks. Karibu sana, Mr. Anwali Rajabali. Makofi kwake mabibi na mabwana.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I really am, on behalf of the shareholders and the board, very grateful for all of you taking some time to come to the bell ringing ceremony of the iTRUST bond. But before I give my vote of thanks, a couple of statistics I want to share with you. The iTRUST bond had over 1,300 individual investors investing in this bond. So that's one of the, apart from looking at the money side, we need to look at the participants, who participated in this bond. So that's one milestone. Second thing is, as Mr. Mkama said, we also run our funds. At the moment, we have 6 active funds with a total asset under management close to 570 billion. None of these funds invested in this bond because it was so this money is nothing from iTRUST, all came in from the market. Yeah, so that's my second point. My third point is, while I was sitting here, we already have a demand of 1 billion shillings for this bond, and the secondary market is going to start picking up from today itself. Last thing, Madam Kama, you did mention about the equity IPOs. I can assure you, with Professor sitting here, he's working day and night. He's already given out around 10 proposals already in the last 8 months to private companies to try and encourage them to come to the market. There's a bit of fear of the market, but I think as time goes on, we are confident that we are going to succeed in bringing something to the market on the equity side. I can assure you of that. Yeah? Last thing before I give my vote of thanks is also we're going to come back to you and we're going to disturb you again. We are planning to do 3 more very exciting products which are coming up, inshallah, probably last quarter of this year. So Prof will come and seek your guidance and we can then launch that. Having said that, now I can give you my vote of thanks. So first of all, Madam Kama, thank you so much. We are very, very grateful. All our events have been graced by CMSA, and we are so happy and so thankful. As I told you before, we try to manage our calendars so that we make sure that you are in town and you're not outside the country anytime. DSC, thank you so much. We've done some wonderful job with DSC, especially the recent Mwalimu Commercial Bank rights issue. That was fantastic, which was a teachers' bank with 300,000 teachers all over the country. We managed to be able to access to them, and we successfully have closed that. I think the ceremony is going to be sometime in the next 1 week. Our transaction advisor, Bruce, my brother, thank you so much with your team. I see custodian there, Hamed, managed to do a lot of work for us. I know we were calling him morning, afternoon, night, and bothering him all the time. Asante sana, thank you so much. Your custody team has been fantastic. Then we have our RSM, our reporting accountant. Thank you. I don't know whether Lena is here, but thank you so much. Very, very well done. And our legal advisor, J&J, Joachim, thank you so much. What a fantastic job you guys have done. Having said that, want to thank all our investors who made this historic event. And lastly, I must not forget, is our staff. We have a fantastic young team at iTRUST, now close to around 70, 75 people. We're still growing. I hear the CEO wants more space to accommodate more people at our place. So that's where we are going. So thank you so much once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Beautiful new products coming into the market soon. But at the same time, we can look forward to a potential in the future where equity is going to be the conversation we're having tunavyozungumzia iTrust Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, tunaendelea kusherehekea maendeleo ya capital markets. Tunaendelea kusherehekea investor confidence in Tanzania, but at the same time, the fact that more and more Tanzanians are getting financially literate. Tunasherehekea juhudi zinazofanya kuhakikisha kwamba Watanzania sio tu wanaelewa, lakini wanashiriki kwenye investing locally. Ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely a great time to be alive, na tunajua kabisa kwamba sasa hivi tumeenda kwenye execution ya Dira 2050. We've gone into the execution of Dira 2050. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, what a great time and a great moment to even launch the fact that the iTrust bond has been issued on DSC. Yani ule mwanzo tu wa kusherehekea au ku-execute Dira 2050, we are moving directly into the launch of the iTrust bond being listed on DSC. It's milestone after milestone. iTrust mwaka huu 2026 mmetupiga na vitu vingi, na na uhakika even by the end of the year it is going, this 2026 is great, a wonderful year. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going directly to the photo taking session. Ningependa kuomba the high table ikiongozwa with our guest of honor iweze kufika hapa. Tafadhali CPA utakaa katikati ya jukwaa for a group photo. Niwakaribishe jukwaani. Mabibi na mabwana, tunaenda kwenye zoezi la kupiga picha. Tunaanza na kundi la high table na nitakaribisha makundi mengine moja ya baada ya lingine ili ladies and gentlemen, tukiwa tunasherehekea mambo mazuri, when we are celebrating great progress, great milestones, we understand that it is vision and great leadership that is pushing it forward. Tafadhali tuwapigie makofi mabibi na mabwana hata walivyokaa hapo jukwani. Let's give them a hand of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ukiona vyaelea ujue vimeundwa. I would like to also invite now to the stage, Mr. Faiz Arab, CEO iTrust Finance, as well as Mr. Benito Kiando, Managing Director, CSDR, to join them on the stage. Mabibi na mabwana, tutaendelea kuwapigia makofi. Ni kazi kubwa sana ambayo imekuwa ikifanyika na tunaamini kwamba itaendelea kufanyika kwa manufaa ya Watanzania kwa ujumla. May I ask to join them onto the stage, teams from DSE as well as CSDR. Tafadhali mtaungana nao jukwani. DSE. Oh, kumradhi, kabla ya DSE tafadhali niwakaribishe team kutoka CMSA. Team kutoka CMSA tafadhali karibuni jukwani, watafuatiwa na team kutoka DSC pamoja na CSDR. Kwa mara nyingine tena, ukiona vyaelea ujue vimeundwa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a hand of applause. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Ni kazi kubwa inayofanyika. Karibu sana DSE pamoja na CSDR. Tuwakaribishe jukwaani pia. Right after this photo, baada yao, I'd like to invite to the stage RSM as well as J&J attorneys. Asanteni sana, niwakaribishe RSM as well as J&J attorneys to the stage, tafadhali. It has taken great partnerships, a great working together to bring this to fruition. Right after this photo, I'd like to invite the team from CRDB Bank. Hongereni sana. Team from CRDB Bank. What a year for the capital markets. What a year. Asanteni sana, ladies and gentlemen. Kwa hii timu ya mwisho ningependa tuwasindikize na makofi yaliyoshiba kabisa. It is none other than the iTRUST team, ladies and gentlemen. Tafadhali tuwasindikize na makofi yaliyoshiba kabisa as they come onto the stage. Young, small but mighty, growing team doing great things in the ecosystem in Tanzania at large. The space on this side. Kwa mara nyingine tena, ladies and gentlemen, makofi kwao. iTRUST finance team. Wonderful. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, you may take your seat, as well as the high table. You may take your seats. Tumemaliza zoezi la kupiga picha. Karibu sana to take your seats. CPA Mkama, karibu sana to take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, and as we do that, just to announce, we have closed the official part of our ceremony this morning. Tumemaliza shughuli yetu officially. However, bado tunaendelea kuzungumza. I invite you to the final part of our morning. We shall proceed with networking, connecting. I'm pretty sure should you have heard anything that you have questions about, we can keep linking, keep connecting, keep talking about possibilities of the future. And of course, take some pictures and let people know that leo nyundo ililand. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Khalil Mbowe, and with great pleasure, I was honored to take us through the agenda this morning. Hongereni sana iTRUST Finance, hongereni sana Capital Markets, all the different partners included. Ladies and gentlemen, have a beautiful morning. Let's keep investing. Let's keep building. iTRUST Bond, strengthen your tomorrow. Asanteni sana.
Ubuhle